7 months ago, I would have considered myself a non-reader. I wouldn't have picked up a book unless it was gonna move me and my career forward. But now, I own 176 books. I'm gonna walk you through every single thing, so buckle up. Also, this light's gonna go away because it looks sick having the light, but that's gonna be distracting from my little brain. So I'm gonna turn that off. On the top, the way we have it organized, the way I've organized things, is I've put fantasy, horror, and a little bit of sci-fi on top because why not? It makes sense. Here on this middle-ish shelf, got some thrillers in here, got a little bit of Freida, got some Jennifer Lynn Barnes, all right? A little bit of YA, you know what I'm saying? And then we got a couple smuts, because why not? And a little bit of romance. Then on this bottom shelf down here, you can't see it on the camera, but on this bottom shelf, we've got a lot of nonfiction, got some westerns. Don't know if you'd call it that, but literary fiction. Not even sure if that's the right genre. Let me know in the comments if I F that up. And then we've got some classics down there because I bought them. It made me feel smart when I bought them, but I haven't read anything other than 1984. And then on the bottom here, I'll show you a little bit later, we've got some comics and some manga. Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited to get into it. Let's get into it. Now I would say this shelf right here is where my wife and I share a lot in common. We actually have a lot in common in terms of our reading tastes. I would say that this bookshelf is kind of a conglomerate of just a ton of different genres because at the time, we were like willing to read anything. And so on the top here, I expressed this in a previous video. I'm a Brandon Sanderson fanboy for life, forever. And I've only read a few of his books, but okay, so from left to right, we've got Rebecca Yarros, Fourth Wing, haven't touched it. BookTube, dude, BookTube is a blessing and a curse. They make you feel like you're making a good decision until people start to bag on the book, and then it makes you feel like you made a bad decision buying it. That's where we're at with that. Next up, we got the Zodiac Academy. I don't know a single thing about those books. They're my wife's books. A Court of Thorns and Roses. I picked that up because I'm like, dude, I kind of want to read it, kind of into a little bit of romance. I want to kind of check it out when I'm in that mood. I don't know how I feel about that saying either. The Immortalist. I don't even know if I'm gonna read that book, to be honest. I got it at Half Price Books. The concept sounds cool. I might pick it up if I'm in the mood. And then The Witcher. You guys know that I picked this book up because I gamed. And I'm a gamer, and I picked this book up because I love Geralt, and I love Ciri, I love Yennefer, and I love Triss, and I love that whole band of misfits, and I picked it up, and haven't touched it, but I'm gonna read it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm excited. But you know what I have read? My baby, my first love, Mistborn. This is my honey bunny. 10 out of 10 would recommend. 13 out of 10. Because who needs even numbers? And for you OCD people out there who are like, dude, I can only keep the TV on an even number. 13. That's our volume metric today. Next up, Brandon Sanderson, The Well of Ascension. These two books are freaking amazing, dude. Next up, The Sunlit Man. Next up, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Next up, Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings. Once I finish the Mistborn trilogy, your boy's gonna get into a little bit of The Way of Kings because look at the thickum. Dude, I got this book for so cheap too. I got this book for like $8. Love you, Brando. Next up is Song of the Dead. Excited to read that one. Got that one for my birthday. I think it was for my birthday. Oh no, it was for Father's Day. Because I'm a dad. And then this is my prized possession. I'm so excited. I love mass market paperbacks. These are my babies. Funnily enough, I picked up those books because I've convinced myself, I'm like, those are gonna be worth something someday. Probably not. Those books are so cheap to make, but like a guy can dream, you know? Comment down below and let me know if you are kind of in the same boat as me in terms of just buying a massive variety of books. Because when I started reading fiction, I was like, I don't know what my genre is. I don't know what I enjoy to read. I just want to start reading fiction and just consuming good stories. And so I approached reading like an archaeologist, and I just started buying romance books, fantasy books, horror books, thriller books. I bought nonfiction, like I bought everything. And over the last 7 months, I've just tried to consume the biggest variety of genres I can, and I've ultimately started finding that I'm reaching more towards like fantasy and horror than I am like thrillers. Back at it. This is where we keep all of our Stephen Kings. We've got The Wind Through the Keyhole. We have Revival. Banger book, by the way. So good. We've got The Outsider. We've got Billy Summers, The Long Walk. Those are all the Stephen Kings that we currently own. And then we've also got Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Get this freaking book, dude. I'm actually looking at picking up Recursion. Next, we've got the first 2 books of Dune. I bought these, honestly, I actually bought these, I'm gonna be, okay, a little vulnerable. Bought these over a year ago because I was convinced that I'm gonna read this book. And I got about 10 pages into it and realized that either like I'm not smart enough to read this book, or my brain just wasn't developed at the time to be able to understand like the dialogue in this book. The way that they speak in this book broke my brain. If you read it, let me know what your thoughts are on it. Maybe I will give it a shot. Moving on down to the bottom here, we've got all of our, what I would consider are like thrillers. So here at the bottom, we've got The Thursday Murder Club. We've got Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. The Mother-in-Law. This isn't a thriller, but it's A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. I put it there because that's where it fit. I've got The Day the Street Stood Still, The Quarry Girls. We've got Colleen Hoover's Too Late. I'm just gonna crank through these Colleen Hoovers. You can skip forward if you want to. We've got Too Late, we've got Reminders of Him, we've got Verity, we've got Ugly Love, November 9th, It Ends With Us, Maybe Someday, and Maybe Now. We have got The Talented Mr. Ripley by Patricia Highsmith. Picked that one up at a used bookstore downtown Omaha. Awesome. Picked up a couple of James Patterson books. Realized I don't like James Patterson books. It feels like something that you would pick up and read if you didn't have anything else to pick up and read, which is why I'm assuming that they're in airports all the time. Probably a long shot, but that's my assumption. We've got Water's Edge. I think that's a great book. It was one of the first fiction books that I read like years ago, and I loved it. I just didn't pick up another one. Didn't pick up any more fiction books. The Crash by Freida McFadden. I also have on my Kindle Never Lie. Read that one too, and I've read All the Housemaids. So good. Then we've got None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. We've got Big Little Lies, sorry. The Husband's Secrets. We've got a Chuck Palahniuk book, Fight Club. This was loaned out to me by my brother-in-law. And this book is actually on my list of movies that I want to watch before I die, Fight Club. I feel like people aren't gonna like the fact that I said that I haven't seen Fight Club. I just always tell people that I've lived under a rock, and that's normally my excuse for when I haven't seen any sort of like mainstream or like culturally significant movie or read a culturally significant book. So, I live under a rock. Call me Patrick Star. The next one up is The Lincoln Lawyer, borrowed that from our neighbor. Little Fires Everywhere. We've got Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. I have no idea where that book came from. That one just spawned in here. All right. We've got The Song of Achilles. Excited to read that. I've read all of these Inheritance Games books. I know they're young adult, but honestly, like, big vibes. Love that series. That was awesome. Final Gambit, I think it had a great ending. It was worth it. I think the whole thing coming full circle. Great ending. I think everyone should read this book series. I've got this book called This Is a Love Story by Jessica Soffer. Not a fan. Again, I think my brain's just too small to understand the prose of that book, but everyone's like, dude, you gotta show, don't tell. Dude, just tell me the story. The prose in this book turned me away from it so hard. Maybe I'll try it again. Probably not, but like, little brain, AJ needs you to tell me what's happened in story. Nicholas Sparks, Counting Miracles, beautiful story. Love that book. The Other Year, picked that up, don't know if I'll even read it. It sounds depressing, and being a dad now, I don't think that's the story that I want to be reading. So, not really something that seems too terribly up my alley. I'm not ashamed to admit that I am one of many of us here who have picked up reading who's fallen victim to overconsumption. Not guilty. Actually, guilty. But in my defense, I love hearing the sound of like my debit card swiping. Like in my relationship, in my marriage, between my wife and I like getting that dopamine hit from swiping my credit card. So isn't that what big kid money is for? Like, what else is the point of us making big kid dollars? Like, yeah, we can pay our mortgage. Sure, yeah, we can buy our diapers, but like, why not buy some of these badass little babies, you know what I'm saying? Dude, when I get into a hobby, man, I'm like, I dive nose deep into it. Like, I go into it. And so I am with everything. Gaming, in it. Watches, in it. Reading, in it. Like, I'm here for it. So, and every single one, for the most part, I'm pretty excited to pick up. And every single book, for the most part, I'm willing to read in this bookshelf. Then down here at the bottom, this is honestly a part of my collection that I have the most pride about, or I love the most, and it's this entire thing right here. These are all Louis L'Amour books. And these were gifted to me by my wife's grandpa, so our grandpa. He was obsessed with Westerns. He loved Westerns. His life loves Westerns, and I need to get into these books. I did crack one open, and one thing that I've learned about Louis L'Amour is that they start off a little slow, and again, my brain's small, so reading a slow book, kind of tough for me. Just to do justice to these books and to kind of honor our grandpa, I want to read these, but they are very, very special to me. Very special. Next up, we've got Dear John by Nicholas Sparks, Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom, The Man of the Forest by Zane Grey, and we got quite a few nonfictions in here, so I'm just gonna crank through these. We've got Green Lights. Up next, we've got The Noticer by Andy Andrews. We've got Theo of Golden by Alan Levi. So excited, so hyped to read that book. Then we've got My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry. We've got Like Streams to the Ocean, To Shake the Sleeping Self by Jedediah Jenkins, Every Day by the Sun by Dean Faulkner Wells. We've got two thickums over here. We've got Steve Jobs, and we've got, I don't have the book sleeve for this, but Elon Musk. Very interesting human beings. Don't get political in my freaking comments, dude. I'm new to YouTube, just be nice. All right. Next, we've got My Next Breath by Jeremy Renner. Then we've got Mike Pompeo, Never Give an Inch. We've got That Every Man Be Armed, a book that I found in my grandma's library. Seemed interesting. Big Second Amendment guy. Grabbed it. Just put it in the library because I wanted to be like, I like guns. Bullies by Ben Shapiro. How to Human by Carlos Whittaker. And then in here, we've just got my little section of classics. I'm gonna pull these puppies out right now. I'm excited to read. I've actually already read The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. I've read Of Mice and Men. I've read The Great Gatsby. I've read Fahrenheit 451. I have not read Moby Dick. Might read that, might not. I've also got The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Read that too. Heck yeah. And I've read 1984. So I've actually read pretty much all these except for Moby Dick. Ooh, and this is cool. This one was recommended to me by that same bookstore where I picked up The Talented Mr. Ripley. Moby Dick, although fiction, is based on Heart of the Sea. This is the real life story that inspired this story. So of course I have to have them in a pair. Pretty sweet. And then in no particular order, I've got my little tiny comic book collection. So exciting. Love these books. We gotta love our comics. We gotta love our superheroes. So, on the bottom we've got Green Lantern, War of the Green Lanterns. In this little section we've got Nightwing. We've got 1, 2, and 3. Nightwing, Traps and Trapezes. Nightwing, Night of the Owls. And Nightwing, Death of the Family. And we have Batman Failsafe. Banger comic, so freaking good. Blackest Night Saga, that's actually what got me into reading comics and is actually recommended from my brother. And then we've got my little, I took a little shot at reading manga. Not a big fan, but I did pick up a couple volumes of Chainsaw Man, banger manga, and also banger anime, so good. And then also Demon Slayer, because I feel like that's what a lot of people start with. Just realized, not really my thing. I keep them because I think they look cool, and they're just cool to have. Not really my my jam. And then on bottom there, I just have like 50 different Bibles. I went through a phase where I was like, I just want to collect Bibles. So I have like tons of different translations. My name's AJ Cruz, and thank you for joining me on my book tour of somebody who was a non-reader. Subscribe if you'd like, and drop a comment on what you thought about my books. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.